Okay, on my way to work now, I'm gonna share some cheap thoughts. So cheap that I'm going to an office that I don't pay for. It's actually someone else's. I just borrow their space. But on my way in, I'm listening to the radio, catching up on the news, and I notice that everything is being talked about around individual people. There were NFL teams playing each other in the playoffs over the weekend, but they talked about the coaches and the quarterbacks getting all the praise and all the blame. Individual people. Or on the political side, we talk about who is running to be United States president. They also, of course, talk a lot about the current United States president, and he's having some square-offs with the leaders of other countries. One, Iran, who has a supreme leader. That's actually the term they use. So eventually, things boil down to individual people at the top instead of a collective group. But that is unfortunate for the poor millennials who are being blamed for everything. Let's see, they are entitled snowflakes that don't have a work ethic. They're easily upset, and they are used to a digital world where everything is at their fingertips all the time. I'm of a different generation, but we were kind of the same, dude. We were wasting a lot of time playing video games also, and I believe Generation X at one point in the 90s were considered slackers. And I know in the 80s, when I was in elementary school, we were told that Japan was coming to either take our lunch, eat our lunch, or just buy our lunch, because they went to school 220 days a year and their math skills were incredible, as opposed to the United States, we're a bunch of slacker students who were like 50th in the world in math scores. So surely by the time we became adults in the 90s and 2000s, we were going to ruin everything because we weren't good enough in math. But the difference was, back then we were looking at my generation collectively. But it turns out that the individual rises above all, and that's really what ends up defining a generation. You have individual people who do individual great things. They're visionaries. They have that incredible work ethic. And then the next thing you know, they come to rise the level of their entire generation. So by the 90s, we had this dot-com boom, Silicon Valley, now stronger than ever, more wealth, more innovation coming into the United States. I'm sure that not every person that Steve Jobs or Bill Gates interacted with when they were growing up was actually a super hard worker, ambitious visionary, but they were, and that came to define the times. And the problem for the millennials is they just haven't had that person yet because they're not old enough for someone to rise above the pack and end up taking their collective reputation and changing it based on the 1 or 2 or 5 great individuals that will emerge from that generation. Now I'm at work. Hold on. I got to check in with my guy and see what he thinks. All right, we're back. Let's go say hi to Johnny here at the Art of War Studios. And he's trying to do his own thing individually as a visionary. We both work in motorcycle racing. I know collectively we're probably not all that smart, but it's just about us as individual geniuses, right? That's what's going to make us stick out. Now I'm putting together YouTube videos. It makes me a visionary. Here we go at the Art of War Suspension Technologies Museum, or place of work. Oh, you here?
Always.
Yeah, this is teamwork. I don't really work here because if I said that, I'd probably have to pay you.
Oh, am I a play date all of a sudden?
Yeah, you're just a buddy.
Okay.
You're just a buddy. So look, I was driving to work today, and are you actually doing real work?
That's the only thing I know, dude.
Really? You know why?
Yeah.
Because you're not one of these entitled snowflake, you know, everything's done by either their mom or dad or a camera. So you're actually working.
Yeah.
With your hands?
That's the only thing I know how to do is work with my hands.
That's
Other
what,
than
yeah.
on the computer, that's where the entitled are do their best work.
Oh, you mean people who don't? Oh, but YouTube people?
YouTube people.
YouTube people. Yeah, exactly. I know. That's slacker generation. Have you worked with millennials before?
I have.
Do they not have the work ethic that you do?
I don't believe they do.
Really?
No.
But is it possible, Johnny, that there was only a few that do, and that's all you really need? That's my theory I've come up with. Collectively, they're all slackers. But dude, there's people our age that are slackers too. There's losers out there.
Millennial comes right up to our age.
Really?
So, and I think
that makes us pretty young.
I'm a little older than you. I think it might even include you.
Really? Oh, well, it all makes sense. That's why I'm making YouTube videos right now.
Right.
That's why I'm defending them.
Yes.
I just figured it out. So my theory was that don't worry about them collectively. Think of the great individual that will rise above and make their entire generation look good.
Okay. Have you found one?
It was me all along.
Oh, yeah.
I just figured this out. It was actually me all along. Oh, and I have to deal with you guys, you old guys.
Yeah. Did I bring this to your attention?
I did not know I was a millennial. I did not know I was a millennial.
Yeah. You're the one that saves them all.
The world was looking for it, and I realized it was me all along.
It's me all along.
You know, you would think you should look in the mirror to know that you're the person. It was I had to look into this camera. And when I watch the video back, I will then see the visionary that I needed to see all along.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, you keep working with your hands.
All right, yeah.
And I'm just going to change the world.
Being entitled to everything in here.
Yeah, for free. I'm not paying you to stay here, yes.
In fact,
yeah, this is my desk.
take a look at your desk. You get the comfy chair with the backrest. As you can see, mine is a stool, standing desk.
Oh, because you have a strong back from like a hard work ethic.
Well,
you don't need it.
I don't want you complaining.
Well, my back is not strong enough. I need someone to support my back.
Your phalanges are pretty strong, though.
Is that the term?
Yes.
Phalanges?
Yeah.
Is that what they call them?
Yeah. That's what they are.
Oh, okay. You're a real scientist.